Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kṛṣṇa. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on!
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host Raghunath and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kṛṣṇa. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. We woke up and everything's blanketed.
Really?
Whites. Yeah. Is it like that in Mayapur, West Bengal, Kṛṣṇa?
Mayapur, it's just all transcendental, Raghunath. There's no snow, but there's a thick layer of spiritual Shakti all over the place.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Are you going to be salting that Shakti like we are? Animal-friendly salt on the Shakti?
Nope.
Oh, Kṛṣṇa. How are you?
Living the life over here, Raghu.
Are you?
Living the life. Beautiful Kirtan Narendra Swami last night for Mayapur Mellows over at Jalangi Dham.
Ooh.
That was really great. And I was just saying, just now, I was, the gardens around Prabhupada's Samadhi, when you go into them, you see how beautiful they are. When the sun's setting and you're right there, you got an incredible view of the planet, the TOVP, the temple there. And then I came back to Tar's place, and all the kids are playing in the playground, and sun's going down, and then a beautiful Langur Hanuman monkey came running on into the scene.
Took one of the children, ran away.
It didn't take a child.
They're big. They could take a child.
They could easily take a child if they wanted to, but they don't do that.
They don't. They're
cool.
Nice. They're not like the other Vrindavan rascally monkeys.
I got nothing to say bad against those monkeys in Vrindavan, even though they do all kinds of adventures.
Well, here's the deal.
Nothing bad to say.
I remember a bunch of senior devotees were criticizing the monkeys. And Radha Swami said, well, we've taken all their land. They have to go somewhere.
Yeah, all the fruit trees.
I was like, yeah. Yes. Thank you. In defense of monkeys.
Racket. They need to create their own racket now because we took everything away from them.
Yeah. So they created a little mafia where they like one guy waits above the store. The other guy entices you to shop. Go shopping. And then you come out and the monkeys, like 3 of them grab you.
They get you.
They grab you.
One
goes for your wallet. The other 2 go for your bags. The other guy goes for your hat and glasses.
Yeah. One got my hat last time I was in Vrindavan. I'm walking through Lord Bazaar.
It's so humiliating getting your hat taken. It's like, come on, monkey.
It was so fast too.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen monkeys jump on my rickshaw, jump on and off so quick. It's like, and then I was with, you know who I was with? I was with Gopal Chandra before he died. And I remember it was me and Gopal Chandra, another person. We're going down to Lord Bazaar, and all of a sudden it was like, and he's just touching his face. He goes, I just lost my glasses. Like, we didn't even see the monkey. We just the glasses.
All he knew was the world got blurry all of a sudden.
Everything just got blurry.
It was funny, when it stole my hat, it did it really fast, and I thought somehow in my mind, the first thing I thought of a friend of mine, it must have been him that just stole my hat. I don't know why I thought that.
Sneaking up behind you.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they went for hats.
I thought that's Krishna Mike just snuck up on me and stole my hat.
I didn't think they took hats. I don't even. Yeah.
No, I didn't know they took hats either. They took my hat.
Yeah, they're changing it up now, the monkeys.
Yeah,
You
they'll do
know,
anything now.
they're going for
They work
they
with the
used to just
people
go
now
for
too.
they used to go for food. They used to go for
Yeah.
and then they raised the bar to glasses, and some people have very expensive glasses. You take my
And now
glasses.
they used to bargain just for bananas. Now they want fruity drinks.
You know what? They like fruity. Fruity is like a mango
The carton.
juice, and it comes in a box, like a juice box, and it's
Yeah.
called fruity. It's a mango flavored. They don't want fruit anymore. They become
They
like
want
our American
connoisseurs.
teenagers who don't want to drink water. They want to drink Pepsi. They want fruity, these monkeys. You can't get
And
your stuff back for a
it
banana
seems like
anymore.
they also work with the humans now. It's like the humans are in on it. There's a human there that shows up as soon as the monkey takes it,
Oh
becomes the
yeah, like, oh, let
mediator,
me
takes
help
his
you. I
cut.
sell fruity. I think they're
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
it's like the monkeys are like investors in the business.
Yeah, they're in on it with the humans. They came up to human level and now they're in a partnership.
The monkey actually owns the shop. Okay.
We could
Aaron,
talk
what
about
is
monkeys the entire show for sure,
you
but
you
I
really
think we should
could.
move
You
on.
really could. I remember the
Yeah.
time the guy from Shelter was with me and our drummer, Kendra, were sitting there. They have these Indian, how they have scaffolding in New York? The Indian scaffolding is all branches
Bamboo.
of trees.
Bamboo.
And so,
Yeah.
and I remember I was talking to my drummer from Shelter when we were brahmacharis. He was leaning against the scaffolding and he just bought a big piece of maha cake. He was just
Oh.
holding that cake. And you might as well be
Yeah.
holding like a bushel of bananas because I saw a monkey 4 stories up coming down that pole so fast, and he's leaning against the pole, and I couldn't say anything. I was like, that
Oh,
monkey
you're
sat
nervous
on
or
his
something,
shoulder.
or
The
you're
monkey
just
sat
your
on his
heart was pounding?
shoulders, grabbed the cake out of his hand, and
Yeah.
just went right back up the pole. It was the most like he almost like jumped out of his doty. Oh, Krishna.
All right.
That was
Mara,
a great day. Mara, what do we say we wake up every morning? Right? We say something.
a few monkey
positive.
stories.
Good morning.
No, come on, Mary. You know what I'm saying. What do we
do you
say?
have? Some kind of
This
positive
morning I said,
affirmations?
I'm going to say that on the show.
How did I get so lucky?
Oh, yeah. How did I get so lucky? Isn't that a great thing?
Oh,
As soon as we wake up, we say, how did I get so lucky?
okay, a little
It's a great
affirmation.
mantra affirmation to have running in your head instead
Okay.
of why me? How did I get so lucky? It's a great regular thing.
Like a
To
couple weeks
point
ago,
out
we
your
said
good
that.
fortune.
What was it that 300 days out of the year, most people are waking up grumpy or upset or disturbed or something?
Yeah. How lucky am I? How lucky am I? It's a great.
Yeah.
Let's all say that today. How lucky am I? How'd I get so lucky? Okay.
All right. Announcements today with Bhakti Recovery Group meetings at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, me and Mara are getting excited for the Mayapur trip.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the flower festival. We booked our hotel for the flower festival. And then we're all gonna gather that early Monday morning, and then we're all going to fly to Calcutta, take our little bus ride together,
What
singing
date?
the entire way.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sing the entire way. I'm really excited for that. So if you're interested in coming with us to Mayapur, a lot of people are tagging on the Flower Festival, which is happening January 27th. It's a quick jaunt pilgrimage. It's not like my usual pilgrimages, which I love doing, but we're going all over the world. This is for those who can't take my regular intense pilgrimages. This is just like we're coming. We're doing a little flowers, throwing some flowers in each other's faces. We're singing songs. We jump on a little 1.5 hour flight to Calcutta, and then we drive to beautiful Mayapur, and we're going to stay there for a week and really get to know the place. And if you've never been there, Mayapur is quite wonderful. And I was talking to Cody Rogowski yesterday, who's going,
Oh, yeah.
and she's like, I got to start looking up Mayapur. It's like I don't even know what it is. You guys tell me to go, and I go. It's funny because I think that's how a lot of people go to India. They go through a relationship with the group
That's
leader.
a good way to go.
It's a good way to go. You just go, I don't know what I'm getting into.
I trust
don't
you.
know. I just trust you. You just take me somewhere good. I trust you. I trust you're happy about all these places. but Mayapur is quite wonderful. And I've never taken a group there. Unofficially, I have, but I've never taken a group because I always thought it was a little bit too over the top Hare Krishna. And I will say that it is. So, but in the old days, I used to just take a bunch of yoga students, and the yoga
No.
students would be like, what is this? They might be a little skeptical or a little weird, and where's the yoga? But
Wisdom of
because of wisdom of
sages,
the
people.
sages, it's like
Yeah.
everybody's into bhakti, and so now
Yeah.
I've always wanted to take people, but if you're into Krishna bhakti, it's an exciting place to go. I mean, you'll have, because Krishna bhaktas, they like the idea of going to a temple, and they like the idea of the deities,
Oh,
and the deities
kirtan.
here. It's
Oh
like
man.
you'll see the deity, you just like be in shock. You're just mesmerized.
Every night in this temple, Raghunath, it's jam packed with Bengali pilgrims, and when they see Radha
They
and
must just
Madhava, Radha and Krishna, and
cry.
the 8 gopis, they freak out.
Mm,
They grew up in India. They've never been in a temple like this. They're like,
yeah,
oh my God. They start
I know.
freaking out.
I know.
The other night,
And it's just
Sunday
laid
night,
out so beautifully. The
well,
entire
hear
campus
me
is laid
out,
out
brother.
so beautifully.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I was in the temple the other night. It was jam packed with Bengalis. And they were all crammed around the temple. The curtains weren't even open. They were doing, but they had a tulsi plant up on the raised platform
Yeah.
in front of the altar,
Oh,
and they started doing tulsi puja, and the
just
whole crowd is freaking
spontaneously,
out.
or okay. I thought the
No,
crowd
it's
was doing.
they do it just before the Sunday arti before they open, and the whole crowd is freaking out, going over a tulsi puja. Someone's worshiping a little tree there, and
It's like
and like
Americans don't even get this. They're like,
yeah.
what's happening?
But because these Bengali ladies, they do that sound, and
Yeah, they do
they
this.
can do it
It's interesting because
unbelievable volume.
you don't see this so much in America, but in India, it's they come in doing this sound. The women, they go,
It's very auspicious.
and it's like considered a good luck sound. So you'll
But they
just
can do
hear
a little Bengali lady, and they come in small little packages.
they-
But they can do it so loud, it's incredible. Like the volume is like so powerful. And
Bengalis are famously small.
yeah, and when there's thousands of them doing it, it's like it's like the sky opens up or something like that. It's really far out.
Well, it's interesting because the things that we worship, they don't work like
Yeah,
they don't worship, but
rock bands,
the things that they do worship, like Tulsi,
tree.
like even for an American Hare Krishna, it's like, okay, we worship Tulsi, but we don't quite get it until you go to India and you see, damn, everywhere,
Oh,
everybody's got a Tulsi plant in their
this is
house.
normal.
Like it's very normal, and they all
Yeah.
respect Tulsi, and then they're going to worship Tulsi, and and just to see the deities and to see the devotion for the deities, like you don't even get it. Like we don't even get it. Like the urgency to have darshan. You know where me and Mara are going for 2 weeks?
Where are you going? Where are you going, man?
We are going to Jaipur for 2 weeks to study Hindi. We're taking a Hindi
Well,
immersion
look
class
at
in Jaipur.
you.
Boomba.
When are you gonna do that? March?
Huh?
March?
After
February?
yeah, no, in February.
Nice. You can
Yeah.
combine kirtan in the morning in the temple and then go and
Go have
Hindi.
darshan in the morning of Govindaji. That's what brought me to think about that, because their urgency to see Govinda,
They got an
the
urgency over there.
passion in Rajasthan is just so over the top. You learn about bhakti just from seeing the ladies. Like 80-year-old ladies are like elbowing me in the ribs just so they can see the deities. There's like
Singing full-hearted, full-throated.
this is the goal of the podcast, for that bhava, for that spirit of devotion to get transferred from the bloodline of like an 80-year-old, Rajasthani woman, and then to get passed on to Linda,
That's what
Linda, and
that's what we're
Amy
yeah, that's
Stellar.
even for the guys too. We're aiming at the 80-year-old Rajasthani woman is kind of like the prototype. That's what we're aiming for,
Sure.
like that right there, right? That kind of
Although
devotion.
remember the last time we were in Jaipur, and
That little guy in the suit was
the
freaking out.
guy in the suit came. No, we're sitting there having like
That
a sweet
briefcase.
kirtan, like it's between the curtains are closed, so there's not even a darshan going on, and they're having a kirtan, and then we're building the kirtan. We're in the back of the temple doing our own kirtan. A man comes in a business suit and a briefcase.
Little guy.
Little man, thin
Sweet
man,
guy.
sweet guy. Like he's just like stopping in to see the deities during lunch. The
No,
guy
it was before
breaks.
work. It was on the way to work. It was in the
Yeah,
morning.
the guy breaks into a dance.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, he just
He
breaks into this
he
insane.
just broke
I
into
think
this
somebody's got it
ecstasy.
on film. He
Yeah,
just
we had
loses
it.
his marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's a
that's
lady there too, an older lady that was really digging it.
it's like we don't have this other
Ah,
culture.
man.
We're
So
trying
come
to
to
create this
Mayapur.
culture all
That's-
over the world, people. We got to do this. We got to do this for the world. The world is sad.
This
The
will make
world is
everybody
sad.
happier.
Let's make our
Okay.
planet a little happier with singing and dancing and elbowing people in the
Krishna.
ribs. It can be better. We can do better than what we're doing.
We can do better. Amrita Kishori, she's got the video, so she can
Oh, that's she was there.
she can share that with us. Maybe you could share it today on Instagram, Raghu.
Yeah, if you share it with me, I'll share it with them. How about that? I'm Rita
Okay,
Kishore.
well, Amrita Kishori, send it on
All right.
over. All right, we got a nugget, Raghunath.
We got the nugget. All righty. Where's my nugget? Where's my
Who's it from?
Beer ball. No,
Excuse me?
no, it is from.
This is disappointing, Raghu. You got to be on the ball over here.
You know what? It's snowing here. Everything's.
That's
How about that? It's
You don't
snowing.
say
Can I use that
anything.
as an excuse all day long? It's snowing. Why don't you do your taxes? It's snowing. Avoid having your ego. This is from Colin Powell. This is from Colin
yes.
Powell. Who is he?
Colin
The
Powell,
Secretary
who-
of Defense?
No, he was American politician, statement, diplomat, U.S. Army officer, and the 65th United States Secretary of State.
That's close.
Yeah.
Close. Secretary of Defense.
Close.
Avoid having your ego so close to your position
Uh-huh.
that when your position falls,
False.
your ego goes with it. Boom, bah.
Boom.
Boom. Colin Powell on Krishna consciousness.
All right. Would you like to share something? Would you like me to start?
Avoid, I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
Avoid having your ego so close to your position that when your position falls, your ego goes with it. It's one of those classic, we invest our identity in our position. We invest our identity in our career. You know, this is what I am. But at the same time, I was just talking to another devotee who's going through the empty nest syndrome himself, and he was just saying, "Yeah, it's like
Empty
I
nest.
was a dad, and now my little girl is moving away, and I have to re-find my identity." So we have our secondary identities, we get that, but when that becomes our only identity, it's devastating. I'm my career. And then I'm my looks. How about that one? I'm my fame. You remember that VH1? Whatever happened? What was that show? Whatever
Peter
happened
Frampton, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes? Was that called? What was it called?
It was called Behind the
Behind the Music. Behind the Music. Now, like, whatever happened to David Cassidy? Or it was like, and it was always some It's never like he became a dentist. It was always like something humiliating.
He became a dentist.
Wait a second. Before you extract that tooth, are you David Cassidy?
He went on to a successful career as an orthodontist.
So the idea is like we've invested ourselves in this career as our identity. And when something shifts due to the cruel waves of fate, we're devastated. We do the same with our beauty, with our looks, with our health, with our status. It's okay. We have some identity as them, but then things shift, and all of a sudden, who am I? That comes up for the empty nester. It comes up for David Cassidy. It comes up for people who they lost their job or lost their position, or university deans or whomever. It comes up. And then all of a sudden, who am I? That's why we say, and we remind ourselves on a regular basis, I'm a tiny, pure soul, part of God, who's forgotten.
There's your
That's our
affirmation
identity.
right there.
I'm a tiny, pure soul that's part
That's all
of
I need to
God,
be.
but I've forgotten. and I'm trying desperately to remember. And that is my religion. I'm trying to
Okay.
love God and seeing God in everybody. What religion are you, Raghunath? I'm trying
Tiny
to see.
spirit soul religion.
I'm a tiny spirit
Little
soul
spark.
religion, and I'm trying to see God in everything. Yeah, that's what it is. Never say, well, I'm a Hare Krishna. I never say that to people. I never say it. Why? Because they might have some predisposition of what that means. Oh, I saw a movie. No, I'm a tiny soul, just like you, trying to find God, trying to remember God, trying to learn to love God and see God in every little living being and love them as well. Boom.
Well, Raghunath,
What do you get out of your that nugget, sir?
I get a lot out of it.
You are like a
Um,
minor 49er. Go.
okay. Well, what in Sanskrit, the false the false egoic designation, the identity that we embrace that has no substantial truth to it. When we identify with you mentioned a few things. You said your job, your position, your looks, you meant, or even parenthood. We can identify. I am a father. I am a mother. I am, whatever our job is, right? I am a beautiful woman. I'm a strong, powerful man. Whatever. We're identifying with something that last week we talked about this litmus test for reality, right? Does it exist in all three phases of time?
Right.
You may be the rock star from behind the music one day. You're thinking, I'm a
Right.
rock star. But were you a rock star? Will you be a rock star? The answer to both is no. And for the people from behind the music, even now, they're not a rock star either.
Right.
But even when we get to spiritual practice, like even when we've when we've bought into that theory, we've accepted it. We said that makes a hell of a lot of sense. I like that. And still, and I have a quote here. This is from, I don't know how to pronounce it.
You got
I
more
got a lot
quotes,
of
Nugget
ego
Master?
quotes. Yeah, this is Jean-Yves Leloup. Jean-Yves Leloup. I may be totally
I
mispronouncing
love when you speak
that.
French.
Tish. He was a French theologian, writer. He was a translator of Greek and Coptic language texts. Born in 1950 in Algiers. He was the author of over 90 books in French. And whatever. His primary subject of his writings was Christian spirituality. So this is what he wrote, Raghunath. Take this in. With me? Come on.
As soon as I said I love when you speak French, I had flashbacks to what?
The Addams Family. We don't
Oh,
need to
you
go
knew
there.
that? You knew that? I was like,
That's
where
why I
did I
said
get that from?
Tish. That's why I said
Oh,
Tish.
I get it. You're so
That's what it is.
on.
Come
We're
on,
thinking
man.
alike all the time.
Well, no, I wasn't thinking like I was following your lead.
Okay. All right.
But
that guy was a sex addict, wasn't he?
we don't need to go there, Raghunath.
I
We
know,
don't need
but
to go
like
there.
he played
He
the
was a
role of a
romantic.
sex addict.
He was a romantic. That's
Okay,
all.
whatever. Yeah, go on.
Jean-Yves Leloup says, now I want to take it to people that are practicing spiritually, that have bought into this theory, right? Of identifying with false designations. He says the ego is a clever, oh, look at this, Raghunath, monkey. Talking about monkeys today, right?
The ego is a clever monkey.
The ego is like a clever monkey which can co-opt anything, even the most spiritual practices, so as to expand itself. You with me?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because
Yeah.
I'll say this. I've seen stories. I've seen sad stories where I've seen people adopt an external spiritual role, and when they can no longer maintain that external role, their entire spiritual life collapses.
Oh, that's interesting. See, that's taken it home.
Yeah.
This is another reason why the Bhakti recovery group has such a great place.
Got to be able to talk
in Bhakti too, where you can actually be frank about where you're at. And I think we've also, with Wisdom of the Sages, we've really pushed this idea of dented canness, of a broken. It's a brokenness without saying I'm doomed. There's hope, but we don't have to present as like we've got it all together. We're pure devotees. I think it's important to admit our frailties, our weaknesses.
It's just a safe path. It's a safe path.
It's a
right?
safer path. because otherwise you have people presenting one thing and internally struggling and never want to share that with anybody. But I like where you're going also, and especially, and this is why we go back to our postulate number 64, good karma is bad.
Can ruin
Why
your
good
life.
karma can ruin your life is because when you've got good karma, like suppose you're like breathtakingly beautiful. This is something I suffer with on a regular basis.
You struggle with this?
Yeah. No, breathtakingly beautiful, or you're famous or something. You have the entire world endorsing that false identity. So eventually you're like, well, I guess I am beautiful, or I guess I am famous. I guess I am the center.
Yeah.
And then when it shifts, everything
Oh.
just collapses. It's like the house of cards is even bigger now. So you have so much more to lose. So there's got to be if you want to identify, because that's a big thing. I identify as a, what do you say? We all opt in to identify as a pure spirit soul trying to find God. That's how I identify.
Yeah, well, of course, Sri Chaitanya had his affirmation, right? That's what this verse is.
Lord Chaitanya's affirmation.
Naham vipro na cha narapatir.
Naham vipro. I'm not a
That
vipra.
I am not a brahmana. I'm not identifying as that.
Because that's one in India. That's a big one in India. I'm from a Brahmin family.
Well, he lists 8, the 8 big ones from Varnashram, right? It's the 4 different occupations, according to one psychology, and the 4 different stages of life.
Yeah.
One can buy. I'm not a brahmana. I'm not a kshatriya, right? I'm not a teacher / priest kind of person. I'm not a warrior / ruler kind of person. I'm not a vaishya. I'm not a farmer / business person. I'm not a shudra. I'm not like a worker. Nor am I a brahmachari, a celibate student, a householder, a married person, a vanaprastha, retired married person, or sannyasi, a renunciate. I'm not any of these things, he says. I identify myself only now, because all of those, they don't exist in the 3 phases of time, right? You may be a brahmana today, but you pass away and you're not, or you weren't initiated as one, ordained as one in a previous point in your life. But what are you always in all phases of time? Sri Chaitanya says, identify. You know when he said this verse, Raghunath?
What?
Do you know when he said this verse?
No.
He was dancing in the Rath Yatra festival.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in public. He started singing different verses. I think 4 or 5 different verses, and this was one of them. I'm not a brahmana. I'm not a kshatriya. I'm not a vaishya. I'm not a shudra. I'm not a brahmachari, a householder, a vanaprastha. I'm not a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the maintainer of the gopis.
Okay, that's everybody's homework today, Kostuba. Everybody's got to say to one person, I identify as the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis.
Of Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the maintainer of the gopis.
The
He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing in brilliance. That's the verse. That's our affirmation, right?
That's our affirmation. That's
Gopi
how we
Bharta Kamala Yor
That's what we
Dasa,
identify
Dasa
as.
Anudasa, servant of the servant of the servant of Śrī Kṛṣṇa.
Love that. I blew this Indian guy's mind the other day on the plane when I was flying back from Florida. I just sat down next to an Indian guy. I was like, I'm just going right after this guy. Let's go.
Oh, what are you doing with
No, it's just we were talking about where is he going. I go. At first, I said something really simple. I go, "Are you into IT? Are you in IT?" And he goes, "Yes." I go, "What's your last name?" He goes, "My last name," and he says, "Sharma." I go, "Oh, you're from a Brahmin family?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "Where are you from in India?" He goes, "Tirupati." I go, "You worship Balaji?" He goes, "Yes." All these things. I asked like 7 questions, and then I just boomed them. I came off like I was a mystic.
Very good. Very good, Raghunath.
I go, okay, your father, your grandfather.
Okay,
Okay,
let's dive in because there's more to talk about this. The very next verse, A-list sages are going to be dropping
A-list
knowledge on this
sages.
topic. Yes.
A-list sages. Okay, that's good. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim yasam tatojayam madirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyanaktamarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes. With the torchlight of knowledge, I offer my obeisances at their lotus-like feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 15, Text 8.
So I believe that Angira is speaking right now. And they're wrapping up, he and Nard are wrapping up some solid teachings to the king. They talked about how they began by kind of speaking to how, you know, you identify as the father of this child, but you're not. You know, talked about how time is shifting everything and so on. They shared some nice fundamental Vedanta with him. And now they're going to wrap it up with this next statement, text number 8.
All right, let's just also set the mood. They're in a room. There's a dead child. Everybody's weeping tremendously.
The king is like lying on the ground.
Yeah, there's like everybody's disheveled and crying.
Yeah.
And these two A-list sages are dropping wisdom bombs.
In disguise. As Abadoots.
I love disguises. And I love the fact that there's a lot of disguises in Vedic culture. Also, Krishna. He's. I like pranks.
And Krishna gets to
Krishna's like into pranks and disguises. That's the kind of God I want to worship. A God who's into pranks and disguises. And there's this one song we say every day. We do these words of one of the songs about Krishna. What is it? He's into tricks.
Yeah, he delights us with his pastimes and tricks, right?
Trickery. Well, the ultimate is that one book by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, right? What is it? The translation of the title is like 4 moonbeams of sheer astonishment.
Yes.
And it's four stories. In each one, Krishna's playing tricks, putting on disguises, doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
He's a prankster.
They're hilarious.
Everybody likes like Candid Camera. When I was growing up, it was Candid Camera. Now they do crazy, more extreme pranks. But Candid Camera, the little baby blows out the birthday candles, and the cake's on a string, and they pull the cake right off. Right? That was like a Candid Camera prank. So everybody likes pranks. That, of course, the origin of all pranks is God.
Now they got these crazy pranks.
Yeah, the elevator pranks are scary.
That you walk into like a bathroom, and when you come out of the bathroom,
it's like a creepy person comes out of the wall.
No, not like that. I'm talking about like you go into like a public bathroom, like in a park or something, and like while you're in there, like a whole team moves in and creates a whole like other world, so that when you walk out of that door, you're like you walked into outer space or something like that.
Yes. Or you're walking into a board meeting or something like that. Or
yeah, everybody's sitting at the desk.
I saw this guy like run up to a guy and hand him like a present and then run away. And the guy's standing there confused. And all of a sudden, like 30
Police
Santa Clauses come around the corner and start chasing him.
All right.
Okay.
Krishna's pranks are better than that, even.
They're pretty good.
We won't go into that now. Another day. That's for another day. Let's read text number 8.
Okay. Text. Why are my glasses working?
So now the sages, he's going to drop this one.
This is text 8. So you got to understand. Divisions of generalization and specification such as nationality and individuality, are the imaginations. Oh, how timely. Such as nationality and individuality, it's like our persona, are the imaginations of persons who are not advanced in knowledge. We have one identity, people.
Gopi
Everything
Bharta
else is
Kamala
a
Yor
costume.
Dasa Anudasa, servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna.
And to the degree that we accept that as our identity, you'll be happy. Want to be happy? This is the only identity that will actually make you happy. Don't settle for secondary identities as you,
Now,
because it can change.
A couple of mention here, it says nationality, so we can all get that. You know, like, I think I'm an American. You know, that doesn't pass the 3 phases of time test. Right?
Sure.
So you're not an American.
What to speak of if you hate another nationality? Guess what? You'll probably become that nationality. Because that's your hate is the most powerful form of meditation. Write that down.
I mean, just imagine, you know, like, just individuals going back and forth, hating each other. You know, it's like that. I think it was Star Trek, although I wasn't a real Star Trek guy, but there was like this planet where like they're at war, and like once half of the planet had like white side of this face and a black side on that face.
No, those are the Klingons.
I'm telling you that there was one where it's like they had their face, one had like the left side black and the white side right, and then the other people had the exact opposite, but they all were exactly the same otherwise. But they hated each other bitterly, you know? And we can imagine that that's what's happening, that people are taking birth, you know, on one side of a conflict, you know, in one life, and they're so obsessed with the other side, they're taking birth on the other side in the next life. But, you know, it also mentions individuality. It's not that we're not individuals, but we think that we're independent, that we have no connection. I'm free and independent without any. So it's like a child thinking, you know, where do you get your food? Oh, I get it myself. I walk to the refrigerator and get it. No, someone put it there for you. So none of us are individual in that sense. None of us are independent. Our water is supplied for us by nature, right? The heat is supplied for us. Our food is supplied for us. Everything's supplied for us. Yeah. We don't exist in some kind of vacuum based on our own, you know, power. We're dependent.
And how is that food supplied? It's supplied with love. It's supplied by the loving parents.
It's like a loving parent.
Okay, you ungrateful teenagers. Don't you understand? There's a reason why the refrigerator's stacked, because someone's putting it on their paying cash for it. They're picking it up, choosing it out, refilling that pantry. It didn't
all
just
that Trader Joe's stuff you got in there.
You don't even love me. Oh yeah? Open the refrigerator.
There would be nothing in there if I didn't love you. Why don't you read the short commentary, Raghunath?
All right. This is from text 8. Actually, there are 2 energies, material and spiritual. Both of them are ever existing because they are emanations from the eternal truth, the Supreme Lord. Because the individual soul, the individual living entity, has desired to act in forgetfulness of his original identity since time immemorial. He is accepting different positions in material bodies and being designated according to many divisions of nationality, community, society, species, and so on.
So all these designations are temporary, false designations. They're not a real designation. And through bhakti, through the practice of bhakti, through the meditations and the reflections that the bhakti tradition provides, one can become released from these false designations. And that brings us to a very important verse, Raghunath, that it appears, it's originally from the Narada Pancharatra, but Srila Rupa Goswami included it in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and it also appears in the Madhya Lila chapter 19. Sri Chaitanya quotes it in his teachings there of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that is famous verse, Sarvopadi. You see, the word for false designation is upadi. So the first word is Sarvopadi. Sarva means all, so all upadis.
False designations.
All false designations. Sarvopadi Vinir Muktam, the liberation, the freedom, breaking free from all false designations. Sarvopadi Vinir Muktam, Tat Parat Vena Nirmalam, Rishikena, Hrishikesha, Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. Bhaktir Uchate means this is called bhakti, right? So
Mhm.
it says bhakti or devotional service means engaging all of your senses in the service of the Lord. Hrishikena Hrishikesha, right? Krishna is the Lord of our senses. It's like he
Mm.
created this equipment, and we say, I use it in your service. That's called bhakti. It goes on, when the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, sarvopati vinirmuktam, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. Now, what does it mean that one's senses are purified? You know, it means that every sense that I have, my eyes, my ears, etc., they're all connected to my mind. And they're connected not only like physically, like through an optical cord to the brain, but they're connected with programming within the mind that is kind of just like if you buy like a camera for your computer, and then it comes like it would used to come with like a disc, right, with the drivers, and you'd pop that in, and
Oh yeah,
you would upload the drivers, right?
the drivers.
So
Yes.
yeah, so there's programming in our mind that's like the installed drivers for our senses, and they make our senses attracted to certain things and repulsed by other things. But through the practice of bhakti, we become purified of those drivers. You know, it's kind of like you can become free of that programming. So like our bodies are programmed, our eyes are programmed to like a heterosexual male, like the eyes want to go to the form of a woman with and contemplate that form with desire, you know. But through bhakti,
You
those
know.
drivers, those lusty drivers, you know, that are connected to the eyes, you know, they become purified, where you look at the same form,
Mm.
but internally you're having a different experience, you know. And so this is the idea that through bhakti, one, we let go of all the false designations. I am American, I am man, I am woman, I'm black, I'm white, I am even human. These are just temporary identifications, temporary ego ideas that we let go of, and our senses become purified of all of that materialistic programming. Beautiful verse, isn't it?
It's a great verse.
Sarvapari vinirmuktam.
It's the
Okay.
higher taste verse too. It's like once you get that higher taste too, then immediately you're letting go all of those other tastes.
Yeah.
Uh, dog.
There's a word in this verse. Let's see. It says aviveka krita purta. Aviveka from ignorance, like viveka. This is an important word. Like some important Sanskrit words say, right? Upadi, false designation. Vivek means like discernment, right? Being able to really, within Vedanta, that word viveka means the power of being able to separate or to discern between spirit and matter, or like truth and untruth, or reality and illusion. We call that viveka. It means I'm really sober. I'm not being ruled by my mind and senses. I'm able to separate these things. And so this verse is speaking to that. You know, aviveka means the inability to do that, or ignorance. You know, so
Alrighty.
all right. So in any case, this verse is saying that these divisions, these upadis, these designations, they're imaginations. They're a type of ignorance. They're imaginations of persons who are not advanced in knowledge. Okay, so they drop it there, and now King Chitraketu is it actually speaks to like his condition. You can read the next verse.
Text 9. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. Thus enlightened by the instructions of Narada and Angira, King Chitraketu became hopeful with knowledge. Wiping his shriveled face with his hand, the
He's a
king
mess, right?
began to speak. He's a mess. Now he's going to answer up to these kings. He's sitting in front of his dead child, his weeping wife, all the
Yeah.
attendants.
And you know what gets me right here? Because he's about to really glorify these sages that just spoke this truth to him. And it makes me think that he's a king, and he's studied these things before. You know, the king has to have some spiritual knowledge behind him, but it never sunk in like it's sinking in now for him.
Sure.
Right? He got cracked wide open by the death of his child, and
It's not like
all that
realized knowledge, but just even knowing it, it
Theoretical
softens the blow of the
and
tragedy that's right in front of him.
but now it's going to deepen into deeper realized knowledge. Right now, now the Krishna created the circumstances in his life that it's not just going to go in one ear and out the other now, or it's not just going to be theoretical, but like it's a combination of him being open and also deeply realizes sages speaking this truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it's gonna get planted in there, and this time it's gonna stick. You know. Okay.
King Chitraketu said, "You have both come here dressed like avadutas, liberated persons, just to cover up your identities. But I see that of all men, you are the most elevated in awareness. You know everything as it is. Therefore, you are the greatest of all personalities. Brahmins, who are exalted to the position of Vaishnavas, the most dear servants of Krishna, sometimes dress like madmen just to benefit the materialists like us, who are always attached to sense gratification, and just to dissipate our ignorance. These Vaishnavas wander on the surface of the globe according to their desire."
In disguise, Raghunath.
Disguised. Oh,
Now-
great souls.
Now, hold it, Raghunath. This, what we're about to get, is text 12 through 15. This is the list, the A list. These are the A list sages.
Okay. Oh, great souls, I have heard that amongst the great perfect persons wandering the surface of the earth to instruct knowledge to people covered by ignorance here they are. A-list. Sanat Kumar, come on down. Sanat Kumar, Narada, Ribu, Angira, Devala,
Who's here?
Asita, Apantaratma. Oh, that's another name for Vyasadeva.
Pantaratma.
Markandeya, Gautama, Vashista, Bhagavan, Parshuram, Kapila, Sukadev, Durvas, Yagyavalkya, Jaturkarna, and Aruni. Others are Romasa, Chavana, Dattatreya, Asuri, Patanjali, and the great sage Domya, who is like the head of the Vedas. The sage Panchashika, Hiranyaba, Koshalya, Shrutadev, and Ratadvaja. You must certainly be amongst them.
They are, right? Narda, he mentioned Narda right off the bat, and Angira both.
How do you mention? Does this jump out at you when he mentioned
Patanjali?
Patanjali? Yeah, because this
It may not be
predates
the same
It might
Patanjali.
be a different Patanjali.
It could be a different Patanjali. Also, Chavana was mentioned, who of course is famous for his
Chavanprash,
Chavanprash, his special, tonic.
fudge, jelly jam,
Yeah, a very healthy
sadhu
one with
jelly jam.
54 herbs in it, including ashwagandha.
I ever
You got
tell you the time
Durvasa.
that if you're unfamiliar with Chavanprash, it's sort of like this Ayurvedic miracle jam. And so we used to go to
Gooseberry,
India
right?
and get it, and it was always like sort of like I used to get the Debar brand, and it was always like hard and
Not the
chunky
real
and
stuff.
like, and then what's his name, Pratap? There's this. I was rooming right next to this Ayurvedic doctor, and he's like, "Oh, I make it fresh." I was like, "You're
That's
kidding!"
terrific.
I had it. I was like, "Oh, so good." I bought a trunk load. I'm such an extremist. I brought a trunk load, a metal
eat it all
Indian
year round.
trunk of Chavanprash to bring
Yeah.
back to America. And I was just like, after the first 2 jars, I was like, I can't eat another spoonful. of this stuff.
Well, you're probably eating it like it was ice cream or something like that. You just take a little bit.
It's not that good either, by the way. You
It's
know what I
not
mean?
meant to be like tasty, although it can be. But it's got 54 herbs in there, but its main ingredient is the
amla fruit,
the amla fruit, which is the world's richest source of vitamin C.
Indian gooseberry.
And it should have ghee in there, and ideally no sugar, right? Maybe some jaggery. Then it
Yeah,
tastes good.
it doesn't taste that
Yeah.
good.
Well, there's all different makes, Raghunath.
You're only supposed to eat a teaspoon of it at a time, bro.
Yeah, a teaspoon, like twice a day.
I make it like a big jelly donut. You know?
Yeah, see, that's that's the thing.
I'm like thinking it's like Welch's grape or something, and it's just not.
Why don't you read the text 16 and that'll kind of finish up that section.
Because you're a great personality, you can give me the real knowledge. I am foolish as a village animal. Oh, I like that. I am as foolish as a village animal, like a pig or a dog, because I am merged into the darkness of ignorance. I love how devotees talk. I am foolish as a village animal, like a pig or a dog, because I am merged in the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, please ignite the torch of knowledge to save me.
Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow we'll hear the torch. That will light the torch.
Light the torch. It's like a straight edge song. Light the torch. We're light the torch from Secaucus.
You want some takeaways?
It's such a straight edge band's name, isn't it? Like
Light
you
the
know.
torch.
You're like, yeah.
Well, Parmananda's new
I've heard
band
of
has a
straight
torch.
edge.
Is
Before.
Parmananda's new band has a torch as its logo, right?
Oh yeah. Values Here. That's the newest straight edge band in town. Values Here.
Yeah.
Parmananda and Chewy, one of our old Zoomers.
Chewy, yeah.
They come together to create Values Here. Okay.
Find passion and urgency for darshan.
Find it.
Find that passion.
Make the planet a little happier with more singing and dancing.
Yeah, come on, people.
Beware of investing our identity in our ego.
Poor
Stay away
return
from
on
that.
investment, huh?
Don't let the monkey mind steal your bhakti.
He'll do it.
Don't do it.
Opt in to identify as a pure spirit soul trying to find God.
Okay.
That's my identity. Yeah.
Worship a God who enjoys disguises and pranks.
Prankster.
Don't settle for secondary identities.
Don't settle. Don't waste your time.
Hate is the most powerful meditation.
I'm sure there
Oh,
may be
so-
something more powerful like love, but
Yeah.
like love, but it's up there.
Okay.
I like love is powerful. Like you can only yes.
None of us are independent.
Nope.
Like to think I am.
Break free of our temporary designation and materialistic programming.
We're break free
Okay.
from Jersey City.
And
Love a straight edge
And
band.
I bet I know it.
oh, go ahead.
How lucky am I?
Oh,
Is it?
no, I was going to do,
That's our thing.
it's a good one. Is David Cassidy my dentist?
Okay, that's a good one too.
It's a good one too.
How lucky would we be if David Cassidy were our?
There we go.
That would be.
That's
Wouldn't
it.
that be great? I would love that. I'd even take Sean Cassidy, who's like a B-list Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was my dentist. He did do run run.
I remember that.
Oh, thanks to everybody for joining us. It's way to start your morning. I didn't even get to sing to everybody that much today. I was all ready to sing. I get knocked down, but I get up again. I'm never gonna get me down. I get. Oh, that's a good song, Chumbawamba. Come on, Kastuba.
I don't like
Thanks
it.
everybody for joining us. It is Monday. It's a Monday morning, and it's snowy out here in upstate New York.
And rainy.
And rainy. Hey, if you want to go to Mayapur with us, escape the snow and the rain. Come to Mayapur with us and worship gigantic deities. Eat delicious food. Chant, dance, sing, and bathe in the Ganges. You can do that all. Go to wisdomofthesages.com. Check out our events page. Come to Mayapur. Not that expensive either. And tickets are good prices right now. And it's also last call. This is the actually last call for anything we're going on in January. 300-hour Kirtan Academy. It's going to be great this year. And the wisdom training. If you feel like you need to get trained in wisdom, we got you covered.
I'm looking forward to that.
Train me in your wisdom, Mr. Kostuba. I am a dullard. I am like a household animal, like a pig or a dog. Give me your wisdom.
I don't have any, but I'll be bringing some.